All right, so here we go. So I've been holding this video off for a while because I've been trying to figure out the best way to say this, and honestly, I just don't think there is a best way to say this. So I'm just going to say it like this: Black men, it's time to grow the fuck up. It's time to grow the fuck up. I know, we've got a lot of things. We got a lot of things against us, but it's really time to grow the fuck up. And I say this with the most love, the most care, the most understanding I could possibly give us. But at some point in time, I got to put down the understanding and get real with you. The bullshit that has been going on with black men since the 80s, as far as all of this machismo attitude and thinking that you got to have the nicest pair of Jordans at all times, chasing behind coochie as long as you possibly can before you settle down, or you got to get the money by any means necessary, which means going to the streets or whatever. I need y'all to grow the fuck up. So we've had this culture since the 80s, the mindset since the 80s, when all this cool shit became not cool, but became the norm and rooted itself into the black community to the point where we have a problem. Black boys cannot fucking comprehend a conversation in 2025 because we have generations of some emotionally raised ass boys. And I have been on the other end of this couch for a long time. And I work with some grown black people. I'm talking older than me. I'm 30 now, which is crazy to think. I didn't think I'd make it this long, but here I am. And having conversations with grown ass men, 35, 40 plus years old, and they can't have a conversation. They can't have an adult constructive conversation. I'm talking like you carry yourself like a white boy because I can read and shit. You know what I mean? Or because I don't succumb to the bull of, oh, I got to just have sex with everything, which, by the way, you really don't need to be doing that. But I'll tackle that in a little bit. And I noticed this has become a problem deeper down in the older generations. When I'm talking to older black men in their 40s, listening to how they talk and what they prioritize, and I'm just like, y'all motherfuckers are really in y'all 40s talking like this. Now, I'm not gonna say I understand black women when I hear this because those are the same niggas y'all love to lay up with anyway. But as a man, I'm looking at it and I'm just going, what the blue hell is going on? And it just baffles my mind how I can't talk to a grown ass black man. Whether counteracting opinion, counteracting thought process, maybe just a different solution to something that we have been doing that doesn't work. These old motherfuckers, Gen X, baby boomers, don't want to hear shit, but it's even worse when I got the older millennials who don't want to hear shit either. The younger half of the millennials and the older half of the millennials might as well be on two different fucking sections because we can't collab for nothing. Now, the younger millennials who kind of get it still don't want to get it because they still want to be part of the cool kids club. Mind you, we're all in our 30s now. The millennials are all officially out of their 20s by the end of this year. And I can't get past the point of how we have black men and women, black community got to grow the fuck up. But this is more for the men, where we got black men who will say shit like, "Oh yeah, man, everybody can't have a job, so we got to let these niggas run the streets." Yeah, and meanwhile the kids are popping each other's heads off, unaliving each other, beating up college students. Yo, this thing about the black kids, and I'm saying black kids because that's what they are, running up the temple and beating up the temple students, jumping them, flash mobbing them. I said, this is getting out of fucking control. Where are the fucking dads at? Where the moms at? Where the uncles at? Where are the grown black people who had these children? And I have an issue with the men because it seems like the men really just don't know how to have a conversation. Like, if I'm talking to you about money and how money works, I should be able to tell you that all of that running around and getting fast money and selling drugs and doing all this other stuff is not tangible. It does not last long, and you don't get a return on investment with it. Without you going, oh, you racist to your own people, man. Why you hate them? Why you hate the drug dealers, man? They the real niggas in the neighborhood. Yep, exactly. And this is what I'm talking about. Or my favorite thing is, oh, you talk too good, man. You talk like a white boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some game. You gotta have some game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get some pussy, young boy. And it's like this is these are like these aren't people in their 20s. These are like 40-year-old black men. These are like 40, some late 30s, early 40s, shit, even into their 50s. The only thing they can talk about on a regular basis and meet in the middle is some coochie and those dudes out on the streets. Mind you, y'all got kids, right? And it gets to the point where it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with the black community? What's wrong with the men? Like, I don't hate black men. I've defended black men over and over and over again. But something I can't stand is how we are at this point in our community and we still want to make the wrong shit edible. We still want to eat it. We still want to munch on it and just rock out with it to the end of time when we have an entire overpopulated cemeteries in our city of Philadelphia, because that's where I'm at. That tells us otherwise. That tells us otherwise. And we sit here and we cry about the black community ain't got nothing. We got stuff. We just spend it on the wrong shit. Black men buying Jordans. Michael Jordan is a billionaire off of black people, probably not majorly, but mostly. Because we gotta have the new J's when they come out. Black men, I gotta get some Gucci clothes when I get this check. I gotta go to the store. I gotta get my gear up. 50, 60-year-old black men walking around with the looking like they still run the streets. Trying to act like, man, these the G's, man. We out here with the G. I was like, nigga, you old. Get your ass in the house. I'm not saying there's ageism here, but like, why are you still running the streets on the corner at 50, 60 years old? Still trying to holler at the 20 somethings, 30 somethings. Get your ass in the house. And the worst thing is they pass all that mindset down to the younger generations. And black women are asking why black men are like this. I had to say this to Yanni on her channel a couple years back when I was like, look, Yanni, the old heads did this to us. We grew up in the same generation. Them old heads told us we gotta fuck as many girls as we can and then settle down after we ran through them. That's what we was told, right? And I promise y'all we'll get to this section. This might be the longest part of the section. I see kids in middle school, 8th grade, 7th grade, having sex in classrooms here in Philadelphia. I know a girl, I don't really talk to her anymore. She kind of blows, but she did an internship in Germantown Middle School. And she told me the kids was in there having sex in the classrooms. I'm talking like 12, 11, 13-year-old kids in the classrooms. And of course, it's the black kids. It's always us. We get sexualized as young as possible, and then the parents want to know where they went wrong. You know where you went wrong. And to bring this sex thing to where it really is going is Shannon Sharp. I don't feel bad for Shannon Sharp at all. I'm not saying the brother is completely wrong, but I'm saying to even entertain that situation is stupid as flying all hell. Damn. What the hell from my allergies? Why the hell would you even entertain that white girl like that? She is young enough to be your grandchild. You knocking damn near on 60. We 56, 57 years old, Shannon Sharp? Still running around here trying to clap these 20 some year olds in. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? But why are you still doing it? Like, why are you tricking and trying to do all this, that, and the third? And then, I'm supposed to feel bad for you. I'm not saying, you know, I want you to go to jail or nothing like that. If the white girl lying, she lying, but you still went after a snow bunny when you a black man that's got all this money. You got a very successful podcast. You're one of the best football players in your time. You see what I'm saying? And it's just this is just all too much. And this is what I'm saying where black men are still running around trying to chase sex and coochie at this old age, at your big old age, you still can't just, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm not forcing marriage on you or nothing like that, but damn, bruh. And I know a lot of black men like that, 40s, 50s, 60 years old, still trying to run around here in the streets and have sex with as many women as possible. This is a damaging mindset. There's a damaging mindset. This is a horrendous situation that we have passed down to generations. That's why we have 42% of black women having kids under the age of 20 and why they can't make it the fuck to 25 with no damn kids. Because you got the moms sexualizing the daughters, telling the daughters to go out here and be hot girls and all this other freak shit, and sexualizing the daughters young. Then you got the sons being told by the old heads and their fucking dads probably to go have sex as much as possible before they settle down, putting it in their head that they won't be able to settle down. That's the damn problem. If we told our kids you can settle down and be fine as long as y'all love each other, stick together, stick through the hard times, except for abuse or infidelity, respect each other, we would have a much better community. Now, I am seeing that there are black people getting more married now, and I love to see that. I love to see that. But what I'm tired of seeing is the rhetoric of black men still running around chasing nothing but cat, damn near in your ancient days. Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, he got the money to do it. You got the money. I ain't gonna say you ain't got the bread. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like it's a terrible narrative, and this started, and this is like I said this on the Sarge Willa Pete's post. I never elaborated on it because I don't got time. But like this shit started with Gen X. Yeah, baby boomers may have started that free love bullshit, but this whole get it while you can and having kids as much as you want to without this and the third and having with whoever because somebody will marry you, which has been a problem too. It started with Gen X. I see so many Gen X black men on some dumb shit still in 2025. Still in 2025. Just dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. And then y'all want to look at the young bulls when they try to do something different, and it's the Gen Xers that's calling the young bulls weirdos for not doing it. Had a conversation with some dude. He was in his late 30s at the time. Maybe he might have been 40 at the time. Going, yeah, man. All these young bulls on the college campuses, they not really trying to get no sex, man. They just want to study. Yes, as they should. They should just want to study. That's not top priority, man. They want their degrees. They want their money. They want to get out into the world and get it popping. So, like, what's wrong with y'all, man? Like, what's wrong with black men? Like, what's wrong with black men when it comes to this sexual deviancy that we just can't just get out of our fucking heads? It's really not that deep. Like to run around and chase it. Like you really need to work on building. This is the problem. You can get some sex, black men, and that's fine. We have a community that we're building, but what are you doing walking around here having sex, especially raw, with no resources? And you got two kids with two different women. Now you trying to figure out how to get it all together. And the black community is horrendous for this, which is leading into my next point of black men hating off black boys who didn't fucking grow up in poverty and go through hell and abuse and potentially getting shot at to get to the top. This is going on with Deion Sanders' son. I can't remember his name, but you know they talking about he ain't never really got out the mud. He ain't supposed to. His dad set him up to have a successful life so he wouldn't have to go through what his dad went through. And that's what's supposed to happen. But black men love to tell their sons to go out into the streets. The streets raise a man, or you got to be out here struggling, this, that, and the third. White people don't do this shit to their sons. Asian people don't do this to their sons. Hispanic people don't do this to their sons. Indian people don't do this to their sons. None of them do this to their sons. Then you even got the fucking women. Oh, he ain't a real man if he ain't been to jail. I like a real nigga that can run through the streets or whatever. And then this is why the boys run through the streets. But black men, it's about damn time you stopped going off what everybody was saying. Because clearly the older generations are dumb as hell. And the women that we have to pick from just are fucking ridiculous. But it's too many black men that's either dead or in jail trying to fit this dumbass archetype that just does not fit into us as humans. We're fucking human. No other race of man has to do this. Believe it or not, even Hispanic men really don't have to do this. But even their women have the same problems that black women have when it comes to dealing with these goofy ass dudes. Now, not as much as black women, but they do have a record. Just want to throw that in there. But like black men, man, we got to grow the fuck up. If I'm talking to 30-plus-year-old black men and they can't talk about how the market move and return on investment and how money flows, that's why the black community ain't got no fucking money, quote unquote. Even though we do, we just spend it stupidly. If the black dollar is projected to not stretch at all, they saying by 2050 the black dollar will have no value. This is why the black dollar ain't got no damn value. And when the smart brothers come around and say, "Hey, look, man, we ain't doing too good," everybody will be like, "Get out of here, you lame ass nigga! You ain't really did what we did. You wasn't out here in the streets, blah blah blah, whatever. You ain't been shot at, bull. Like that's not real life. That's real life, but that's not good. That's a horrible situation. But we glorify dumb shit. That's why Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion can get where they are. That's why NBA YoungBoy can do what he does. That's why Future can do what he does because we glorify dumb shit in the black community. And black men are like, yeah, man, Future out here. And a lot of these young bulls, I'm sorry, but listening to Future ain't helping you. Listening to all these rappers out here, outside of a few, ain't helping you. All this toxic, egregious, abrasive, violent ass music ain't helping you. Then you got to go to school and you got a group of people locked in the same room, listening to the same music, eating the same food in the same circumstances, and we all out here just tripping. Then when you do meet a brother that's got it together and tries to move a certain type of way because he knows how he's supposed to move, y'all want to shun him, call him lame, call him gay, and anything else y'all can. This is from teenage black men to goddamn 50 something year old black men. And it's getting out of hand. Shit is ridiculous, man. From shit, like I just, and it is sad because it's like every other race of boy can come out the womb and live a normal life, and their parents love them, whether they become an athlete or whether they go to college. Most other communities would rather their kids go to college. Hispanic people don't go to college as much as everyone else, but they build their kids up to be domesticated. They teach their sons how to put down floors, teach their sons how to like fix a wall, a tub, no racist shit, but like they teach their sons how to build stuff. Asian people like, yo, send your ass to school. You gonna learn how to play the piano, this, that, and the third, whatever. Same with Indian people. But it's different with them because you got to do what they fucking tell you to do. You don't bring home no other race of person, especially them Hindu Indians. Don't play that shit. I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, how them other races, how it really ain't as easy to date outside our race as we think it is. But and then you got the white man be like, I love my son no matter what, whether he plays sports, whether he go to college, whether he becomes an engineer or an actor. I love my son. And that's the same thing with other races. But black people, it's no, he either got to be a real nigga out in the streets in jail or he got to become an athlete or a rapper. He ain't got no other options. And when you get a brother that go to college and he's around black women in college and they don't want him because they're programmed, quote unquote, programmed to want that type of man. Oh man, hold on. My bad, I had to dip off real quick. But yeah, and I understand why some of the shit that they talk about is it goes around. I understand why black women say the shit that they say sometimes. They're not innocent. We know they're not innocent. But for the love of God, some of these motherfuckers really are what they say they are. Now we know the women are also attracted to it, so it's not really that big of an issue. And I just don't get it. It's like, man, we could have a job. No, I don't want no job, man. Can't sit in there like that. Of course you can't. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just run the streets because the bread I get from the streets is fast. Yeah, it's fast, it's there, but it's not tangible, it's not sustainable. They're gonna ask you where you get your money from at some point when they gotta run you through. That's why you can't run your taxes because you can't tax drug money. You can't pay for college with drug money. And then of course you got the sisters who, enable the shit. So, like I said, they're not innocent. All these nurses and all them lawyers running around fucking these dudes, which doesn't help the situation. But it just comes a time where it's like these boys, y'all walk around here getting these girls pregnant, y'all don't even want to be fathers. Then it's up to all the other men in the community because, we should mentor the boys, even if, the women keep having kids with these dumbass niggas. But we should mentor the boys. And a lot of black men have been doing that. The thing is, the narrative of black men has been so skewed that even when the black men who do something, it's treated as if it's the first ever fucking time it's been done, even if it isn't. And then you got a lot of black men, like 55% of the black owned businesses are owned by black men, which is phenomenal. But we need to get to the point where we can have a black business and it's for the community and not just for the person. Because a lot of these black businesses be fucking ripoffs. These prices be crazy. I'm like, yo, how you got a black owned business and you charging fucking 25 something for 6 wings and a soda? What? Stop playing. And this is why, what I'm saying, it's just to the point where it's like, when do we get our mind off of just we gotta have the bread and get our mind on the community? And as men, I understand it sounds like it's a lot being put on us because it is. It's always a lot put on us, and I get that. But we need to really start to get rid of some of this bullshit from the 80s and the 90s. It just is dead, and I get it. Back in the 90s, if you know what I'm saying, it was prime time Glocktavius, and then in the 2010s was also prime time Glocktavius. Like I get it, right? And the 2000s honestly felt like that sweet spot to me. I felt like we were kind of getting away from that bullshit with Kanye and Lupe, but then we also had Wayne coming out with his bull, and then you had some other 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was kind of a mix. Then the 2010s happened, and we had like Kendrick and J. Cole, but then we had way too many like Bobby Shmurdas and Young Thugs and the babies and all them running around. That caused a massive problem. So there wasn't enough Kendricks and J. Cole's just to kind of like cancel it out. Like Jay, yeah, Jed's good, and Joey Badass, which are not some of the rappers you hear all the time. They are some of the best, but we don't hear them all the time because they don't push the narrative of violent, toxic black men. Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole have both been married to their wives for years. As a matter of fact, Kendrick Lamar's been with his wife since junior high, I think. And Kendrick Lamar ain't never really been on that we need to kill each other type shit. Never. Never in a day. Neither is J. Cole. J. Cole been trying to fix the community for years, and black people don't want to hear it. That's why he got clowned for apologizing to Kendrick. Because God forbid, and it was mostly black men who did this. God forbid a black man, handles some kind of whatever like an adult with a fucking brain instead of going, I'm gonna kill this nigga or I'm gonna go beat him up or fuck Kendrick. He just said, man, that was wrong. That was goofy as hell. That's the problem. That is the problem right there. When black men are clowning J. Cole for being a damn adult. You're a clown for being an adult. Like it just doesn't make sense. And then you still got the problem with the small number of black men who've been walking around here making a bunch of fucking kids with a larger amount of women. But you can't make them niggas grow up because the women secretly still love him the way he is, but they want to complain about him, but they still love him. Then you got the bullshit with the young bulls, and then it starts young, it's starting younger, but we got these kids running around here talking about spinning up on ops and whatever that young bull's name is. He got to be like 7 or 8 on them rap tracks talking crazy, and the adults in the background clapping and cheering them on, men and women. Like, where are the men in the fucking community? Well, we know where they are. They get shunned by the community. We know where they are. We know who they are, but they get shunned by the community. Anytime somebody tries to put the black community on the right track, somebody in the black community got to hate that nigga just because. But y'all want us to be leaders. And that comes from the men who are also telling, because you got a lot of men who hate the educated brothers for not sticking around the community, Even though they weren't the niggas you hung with, you didn't respect them. You called them lames. You called them white boys. You called them whatever you could call them. And now you're mad that these brothers aren't here helping you fix the fucking community that you helped destroy. That I find that weird. I find that goofy. It's always these niggas is lame until it's time to clean up. And then when it's time to clean up, y'all know exactly who to call. That lame ass nigga. Shit is just it's getting out of hand. It's just out of hand. Now I do see a lot more smart brothers not being ashamed of being the smart brother in 2025. I will say for those men, I'm happy. I'm happy about that because you should want to be smart. Shit, Ice Cube had this issue in Barbershop 3 with his son. He said, "What's wrong with being smart? What's wrong with being smart? Ain't nothing wrong with it. You should want to be smart." And I stand by Ice Cube 10 out of 10. And this is his black son. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be smart. You should want to be smart. There's nothing wrong with it. Ice Cube has been such an advocate for fixing the community without being too outspoken, and he gets hate for it. He catch hell for it. Shit don't make no sense. What I want to get into next. What was my next point? All right, my next point was obviously still we got to hear about this bullshit with the election and standing with Kamala Harris and blah blah blah. We could have had peace, this, that, and third. I really need black men to really like understand Kamala Harris wasn't going to do jack shit for you. All you coochie panderers that y'all doing it just to make sure black women feel safe or whatever, bruh. The Kamala Harris was not fitting to be on y'all team like that. And that is what it is. Fuck anybody with a counteractive opinion. It is what it is. She was about to play in y'all face. She was about to pass bills for every other race but yours. And all you brothers lined up voting Democrat because y'all been programmed to do that by y'all also great moms. And y'all want to keep getting coochie access to the women. And this, that, and the third. Y'all ain't been helping us neither. I need black men to start reading more. I need black men to really start getting the facts down because I can't have this conversation with a lot of these younger brothers either because they so in their damn feelings going, man, Donald Trump was just out here doing this, that, and the third in 2016. My young boy, fuck what you talking about. I get it. We all went through it. You wasn't the only one. But at the same time, I need y'all to learn how to put y'all power in your hands and hold it. And a lot of these young bulls is too fucking scared to do it. But this is another issue we got with the community. We done raised some bitch ass niggas. I'm not hate to say it like that, but we have. They scared to put their. I'm not telling them to go out to war with nobody. I'm not telling them to go out there and shoot the block up. I'm telling them to just hold your fucking vote, hold your voice, hold everything until they ask you what you want and how can they give it to you. They know what you need. They know what you want. They purposely do what they can to keep it away from you because we've made them comfortable. Black men have made them comfortable because you want to vote the way your mommy told you to, and your mom don't know nothing either because she votes off her feelings, not off of facts. And so you vote the same damn way. Now we're seeing black men do better with this too. A lot of black men were outspoken about the 24 election. Like, listen, a lot of us voted for fucking Kamala Harris. A lot of us didn't. And then a lot of us just didn't vote at all. And that's really what happened. But at the same time, I need y'all to start understanding that this bullshit that y'all are voting for just to keep the black girls happy has not benefited the community any way, shape, or form. And we need to go into another direction. And when I say grow up in this area, I mean stop voting for pussy because that's what y'all are voting for. Y'all not voting because y'all genuinely want to this, and third. You're voting to make the little black feminists that were raised by their egregiously bitter feminist ass mom happy. And it's about time we kept it a buck. We got to keep it 100 on this situation because y'all don't want to keep it 100 about this shit. Y'all scared about what the black girl's gonna hate me, man. So what? They gonna have to hate you until they get to paradise. Then they gonna be like, you know what? I'm glad he made that decision. I hated it at first. Y'all gonna have to take some hate. Y'all gonna have to take some legitimate hate for a while. We already do. We come on the internet. They hate you to death just for being a black man. They hate you to death for going to college and not dealing with the baby mamas. They hate you for not wanting to deal with the baby mamas, even if you didn't go to college. They hate you for having kids and having a stable family. They hate you. They hate you regardless. Even if you vote for the woman that was going to destroy the community further, they hate you for not voting for her. Should they hate you for voting for her? There's some videos of black women trying to say, "Oh, we're victims. We're by ourselves because we only voted." And there's 76% of black men voted for Kamala Harris, or 76% of black men who voted. So no matter what, you're gonna take the smoke regardless. So just take the smoke and actually make a difference so the community might actually go a different direction. But y'all too damn scared. Y'all too scared of not being part of the cool kids club, which is the final fucking point of being in the cool kids club. 50-year-old black men and 60-year-old black men trying to be cool and be hip and be out in the streets with the young bulls and be like, young bull, let's get this, and the third. Sit your dumb ass down. Sit your dumb ass down. That's why a lot of black boys don't want to be smart. Because when they are smart, they know for a fact they about to not be cool. You can be smart in the white community and be cool. You can be smart in the Indian community and be cool. You can be smart in the Asian community, be cool. Smart in the Hispanic community, be cool. Smart in the Middle Eastern community and be cool. Be smart in the black community, fuck out of here. And it ain't nothing worse than that. So until we get this shit in order, the black community cannot move forward. We got to get this together, get it in order. We got too many black men scared to say what really need to be said. We got too many black men being scared to do something different because they just know their mama might not be happy with them, or the girl they want to get sex with might look at them upside down. Everything that black men do is based off of the opinion of a woman, or hell, even other men. And it's about damn time that shit went out the window. I'm willing to take the smoke. I be at college telling these motherfuckers how it is all the time, and they don't like it. But I'm willing to take the smoke because it needs to be said. But yeah, black man, it's time to grow up. Grow the fuck up. Get it together. Start being like men again, because that's what our women need. That's what our kids need. And I'm not saying we don't do this, but on a national stage, I don't think we do this enough. But that's all I had to say on the topic, man. Make sure you like the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for more. Let me know how y'all feel about this down in the comment section because we need to have this conversation. And until then, I'll see y'all on the next one.